Did you know that Smogon intentionally gets the mechanics for switching in Gen 3 battles wrong? If you've ever played a Gen 3 battle on Pokemon Showdown, you may have very well noticed this peculiar mod in the list of the clauses and mods they use for their battles. The Switch mod. Faster Pokemon switch first. This is because in the actual GBA games, it's not decided by speed, like in almost every other Pokemon game. It's decided by which player is the host of a link match. You can tell in-game which player this is because they're the one to press A to confirm at the receptionist before entering the link battle arena. This has a few huge impacts and gives different, consistent advantages to both player 1 and player 2. Let's cover player 2 first. This gives them a leg up on ability interactions both at the start of a battle and during double switches. For example, in this scenario, I've got a Cacturne and Latias out on the field. Both players choose to switch into a Salamence at the same time. In Showdown, the Latias would switch first because it's faster, but here, Cacturne switches first because it's player 1, and Salamence comes in and he gets the Intimidate off on the opposing Latias. Then, Latias switches out and player 2 Salamence comes in and gets to intimidate the opposing Salamence. Always going second to get your Intimidate off on this double switch is a big advantage. In addition, during Gen 3 Ubers, this gives a big weather advantage to player 2, as they will always get the weather during double switches. But this is not as big of an advantage as player 1 has, I don't think. In Gen 3, when a Pokemon faints, the turn ends immediately. This gives player 1 a consistent way to end the opponent's turn in tandem with spikes. In this example, both players have a Salamence out, and neither one of them want to risk a speed tie, so they both choose to switch at the same time. Player 1 goes first because they are the host, and they switch into their low health Cacturne, who then faints to spikes. This ends player 2's turn, who now does not get to switch, and player 1 gets to send in a Latias, who is faster than Salamence, and is a check to it. This type of advantage is very powerful, and allows player 1 to consistently have safe switch-ins when they have a Spike Sack available, regardless of the speed of their current Pokemon. When confronted with this, the Smogon Gen 3 Council decided to just mod this out of the game, as no one wanted to play an asymmetric Pokemon game, and that, quote, the faster dude switches first is common sense Pokemon. Despite this, older sims like Pokemon Online and Net Battle used to randomly assign a player 1 and player 2 port for matches. While the Showdown devs were fairly opposed to the mechanics change, they acquiesced to the Gen 3 Council's decision. So is there any reconciling this with the actual games? Well, sort of. Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD actually do not use this messed up mechanic, proving it was, on some level, just a hardware restriction. You can see in these clips that the faster Pokemon is switching first when I'm battling in these games. Colosseum and XD even have the option for Freeze Claws mod and the Sleep Claws mod, meaning only one Pokemon can be slept and frozen, and it's hard limited by the game itself. But there's a big issue here. Colo and XD both have team preview, and you can't turn it off. This is something Gen 3 typically does not have, and the HP stat of both Pokemon on the field is shown at all times. Generally, people don't play or enjoy team preview in gens before 5, and the HP value always being shown allows players to figure out your Pokemon's EV investment a bit too easily. So I doubt people would want to play with these options on. What do you think about all this? I'd love to hear it in the comments. Personally, I think Gen 3 should either be run with the asymmetry or run with the Colo mechanics, but I don't know which one is worse. Breaking cartridge mechanics is never a good thing in my opinion. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.